to know your walkaway price. This is called the reservation price, and it is the lowest offer or deal that you are willing to accept. It's the point at which you would be willing to walk away from the negotiation. Your reservation price is often based on your BATNA, but it's not always the same thing. Imagine you're trying to sell your old car. Your BATNA might be that you can sell it to a used car dealer for $2,700, but your reservation price might be $3,000, because that's the minimum amount you're willing to accept to sell the car. The difference between your BATNA and your reservation price is a bit subtle, but it's an important distinction. It is important because it helps you determine the lowest offer you're willing to accept. If someone offers you a deal that's below your reservation price, you know you should walk away and stick to your BATNA instead. For example, let's say you're selling your car and your reservation price is $3,000. If someone offers you $2,500, you know you should reject that offer and stick to your BATNA of selling it to the used car dealer for $2,700. But if someone offers you $3,100, you'd be willing to accept that deal because it's above your reservation price. Knowing your reservation price can also help you make better decisions during the negotiation process. If you know your reservation price is $3,000, you can use that information to guide your negotiation strategy. You might start by asking for $4,000, with the understanding that you'd be willing to go down to $3,000 if necessary. It's important to note that your reservation price can change over time, depending on the circumstances. For example, if your car has been sitting on the market for a while and you're starting to get impatient, you might lower your reservation price to $2,800 just to get the deal done. Overall, the reservation price is a crucial concept in negotiation. It helps you determine the lowest offer you're willing to accept, and it can guide your negotiation strategy. It must include both a best case and a worst case settlement. The best case scenario is where you get everything you want at the cheapest price. For example, if you were to buy a car, the best case scenario is to get a $25,000 valued car for $10,000 with all the amenities. The worst case scenario is getting it at full price and no amenities. The worst case scenario must be the point at which you will walk away from the deal. You will use this information to guide the negotiation in your favor. Next, you need to identify your best case scenario price. Stating this price at the start of the negotiation is called setting an anchor. Anchoring is a cognitive bias that occurs when people rely too heavily on the first piece of information they receive, known as the anchor. This initial information serves as a reference point, and subsequent judgments and decisions are made in relation to that anchor. Anchoring involves presenting an offer or demand that is significantly higher or lower than what is expected, with the goal of shifting the negotiation in your favor. Let's say you're negotiating the price of a used car. The seller might start by asking for $5,000, which is the anchor. However, if you come in with an extremely low offer of $3,000, you've now shifted the anchor. The seller is likely to feel that your offer is too low, but it has still influenced their perception of the car's value. This anchoring technique can be used in a variety of negotiation scenarios, from buying a house to negotiating a salary. The key is to present an offer or demand that is far outside the expected range, causing the other party to adjust their expectations and potentially concede more ground than they initially planned. One of the reasons anchoring is so effective is that it takes advantage of our natural tendency to focus on the first piece of information we receive. The human brain is wired to latch onto that initial anchor and use it as a reference point, even if it's not entirely accurate or reasonable. For example, imagine you're negotiating the price of a new laptop. The manufacturer's suggested retail price, or MSRP, is $1,200. However, if you open the negotiation by offering $800, the seller is likely to see that as an unreasonably low offer. But despite their initial reaction, the $800 anchor has now been planted in their mind, and they may be more willing to accept a lower price than they would have otherwise. It's also important to use anchoring with caution. If the anchor is too extreme, it may come across as unreasonable or even insulting, which could damage the relationship and derail the negotiation altogether.